Good afternoon, everybody. This is going to be real brief. I just got finished a little bit of a workout, but I wanted to come on and put this video up. First of all, my name is Brother Lewis, and I've been putting up videos pertaining to corruption within leadership. I'm a part of the United House of Prayer for All People, and I found that there's extensive corruption all across the board within our organization, from the top, all the way at the top down. I have now over 200 videos online talking about this. Just go to my channel page and you'll see, go back to the beginning. It is a lot of information in here, a lot of evidence to support the statements that I'm making. I've said from the beginning, do not believe anything I say. Let the evidence speak for itself, whether it's scripture, whether it's recordings, documentation, court records, people's personal testimonies. Since then, many of our members have contacted, emailed, texted, or called pertaining to their support for what it is that we're doing. Members that are currently participating and active in the House of Prayer, and members who have put their participation on pause, like I have, until the leadership rectify these issues and resolve these matters that I've literally been going to them for over 15 years, privately, one-on-one. And now, since I've been ignored and found out, in 2022, my wife and I discovered that the leader at the top of the organization is actually involved in this corruption as well. So then I began to come forward to attempt to bring these matters to the attention of the organization, where then at that time I began to deal with all types of issues pertaining to being blocked from putting this information in front of the eyes and the ears of the members. That said, this information, this video, gotta calm down, tired. This video is for informational and educational purposes only. And if you find information within this video that's similar to things that's going on in your organization, affiliation, your group, no matter where you may be around the entire globe, then you may want to do as I've done. Start asking questions. If that presents a problem, then that should be a red flag. Anyway, that said, I want to put this up real quick, and then I want to touch on a few things before I come back to respond to the video that I'm about to show you. Anyway, everybody listen up.
Read Proverbs 13:3. He that keepeth his mouth, keepeth his life.
You keep your life. Many people have lost their lives because of their mouths. They have caused other people to lose their lives because of their mouths. But he that keepeth his mouth keepeth his life. Watch your mouth. Daddy Madison used to say, "You better mind."
Yes, sir.
Slick.
He's still saying it.
Did you hear that?
You better mind. He say, "You better mind."
Yes, sir.
Wait a minute.
He's still. Daddy Madison used to say, "You better mind."
Yes, sir.
He's still saying it. You better mind.
Yes, sir.
Okay. A person sent me this video, and they sent it with a caption asking, "Do you think he's talking about you?" Other people have been calling me about this video. Other people have said, "Here's video. He's talking about you." Other people have texted me, sending me copies of the video, saying, "Hey, Brother Lewis, have you seen the video of Cunningham? Mr. Cunningham, he's talking about you." Many people perceive this to be a threat. Certainly sounds like a threat. Many people, some were there. Those who weren't, they've been following the videos that I'm putting out, and they've been following the things that he's been saying on the road in different locations. Anyway, this video is called "Watch Your Mouth." Now, it wasn't done recently. This video, I believe, I think it was done, he said this in February of this year. Now, mind you, people are saying that he's talking about you because February of this year is when he began to become more and more vocal about the videos that I'm doing pertaining to his behavior, his conduct, his involvement, and the corruption in the house of prayer. So I wanted to come on to bring this to the attention of the viewing audience, to go back and look at this video. It's, once again, pull up UHOP. Look for "Watch Your Mouth." It should be under UHOP Locked, I think is the channel. When you pull the video up, go down through the comments. And in the comments, what you're going to find is, let me see. Okay. In the comments, this is what you're going to find. Okay. See the name? This individual is coming out. I applaud this person just like others. They're openly, outright saying what's taking place in the organization, what's happened to them, and what's happened to others that they know. This has been an ongoing issue, and things like this, it's been aware. But I'm going to read her comments. Sometimes talk is needed. Please talk about how the house of prayer will comfort those that have been sexually violated over the many years in this organization. I have tried to talk about this to prior leaders and even you, Bishop Cunningham, when you were my pastor. Do you remember our conversation and what you said to me? Women and even men need fathers that will protect them, not molest them. When will you at least get counseling to those that have been violated sexually and caused so many problems within their lives? I am a secondary rape survivor because of what some of my family members have experienced as members of the house of prayer. I have been ignored each time I called or written to Portal Drive. You taught about watching your mouth, but it seems like the House of Prayer needs to wash their hands, and no, she said watch their hands and give out the money you collect from the members to try to heal those who are damaged. I thank God for the courage to speak on this horrible issue. Sometimes talk is what is needed. Talking and opening your mouth is the answer, not lying, ignoring, hiding, and denying. Bishop Cunningham, you know who I am. Let's talk to begin to heal the many that have suffered. Thank you. Now, you notice that there's 3 replies to her post. Now, when you go on that channel, you'll see a few replies or a few comments, but not a whole lot of replies to this specific post. People are afraid to comment on things like that. People are afraid to talk about things like that. People want to keep their hands off of things like that. Why? Because it is a huge problem within the organization. And people all over the organization know about it. I was naive. I had no clue. So throughout my tenure and being an elder for so many years, and then assistant pastor, and then a youth pastor, and eventually a pastor of a congregation which I assembled. And that's another thing. Most of these councilmen and all of these bishops after the founder, they didn't establish congregations. They didn't go out and establish a house of prayer. They didn't go out and bring people in. Mr. Cunningham has no knowledge of how to reach people. He doesn't know how to talk to people. He doesn't know how to deal with people. He has no knowledge how to manage people. He has no knowledge how to resolve conflict. Has no knowledge of how to. The point that I'm making is we have leaders that don't know how to lead. We have leaders that don't know how to reach out. We have leaders that don't know how to communicate. We have leaders that don't know how to listen. We have leaders that don't know how to manage, let alone manage themselves. This conduct, this behavior is absolutely ludicrous. It is insane on many, many levels. It is embarrassing. It is upsetting, because instead of attacking members of your organization that you happen to be currently the leader of, instead of assaulting verbally or threatening or even calling them belittling names like cowards. This is what cowards do. The entire organization know at that time who you were talking about. They knew in January, especially after you went to North Carolina and said that there's people lying on you and the House of Prayer on YouTube, to which the next day I showed a recording that allowed the members to hear that you said the exact words that I said that you had said, and then you claimed that I was lying about, not knowing that I had the recording that I was going to show. And it really allowed many of the members of the House of Prayer to see that their leader is a liar. And if you're a liar, then what else are you lying about? Are you also lying about being a servant of God? Well, that's already been proven too. Because servants of the Most High, our Heavenly Father, they don't behave like this. They don't act like this. They don't talk like this. And for that reason, in the House of Prayer, the members are not getting the Word of God. This is why districts keep on receiving changes to what you call the name. The House of Prayer has coined, according to the pastor, of 601 M Street now, who's the godson of the current leader, he calls DC the District of Cunningham, which is comical because members of the House of Prayer know that. Your average person on the streets of Washington, D.C. have no idea what that is. And anyway, I do get quite a bit bothered when I'm talking about this subject because the ignoring of the members that's crying out for help, it is upsetting to see individuals who are in these positions, leadership positions, take the opportunity to stand up there in front of the entire organization, whoever's there at that moment, and say what it is that you say and act the way that you act. And it's only because you know you have that microphone and nobody in there is going to challenge you. And it's easy to stand up there and say this with all these people everywhere. The same way in Washington a few days ago, you had security everywhere. That the question is, coming from the members that were there to see that, the most common question right now is why is Mr. Cunningham, why is he so afraid of Brother Lewis? What is it that Brother Lewis has on him that's causing him to pull out all these stops? Military everywhere, security personnel everywhere. All over the organization, things are being done to make sure that certain protocols are met to see to it that I don't get in the door. All over. Even in Los Angeles, convocation, I got the report coming from some of the security that they were on high alert status. Couldn't get to sleep till 2 and 3 in the morning because they were afraid, not they, but those over them were afraid that I was going to pop up. Why? Somebody sent this video also today. And it's comical. Because, well, quite frankly, of what it is. So I don't know the truth to this, but it is comical, and I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it for you all. They said, Brother Lewis, I heard something kind of ironic today. I was told the Memorial Day parade felt like it was going in double speed, double time. And they were being rushed. And it makes me feel like he knows you were in D.C. and he wanted to get it over with so that you didn't show up with the entire organization in one area. I feel like he really didn't want to do it, but he realized he can't get away with that much change. So many changes in the organization already. And to have called off the parade would have been a real big red flag to the members. Oh my gosh, what in the world? Lewis got this man running. Well, many of the people, they say, they said it felt like they were literally running in the parade. And somebody actually put a little video together. Somebody actually put a video together, and I'm going to play that for you now. a playroom. This time when it plays, look at the sidewalks. Don't look at them in the parade. When Mr. Cunningham come to do his James Brown, when he comes to do the little spin move, look at the sidewalk, the people on the sidewalk. And then the second clip, while the council is jogging in their marathon, look at the side on the sidewalk. Look at how many people on the sidewalk. Now there's people on the street, but look at the sidewalk. The people on the street is the band. The band is on the street. Hardly nobody on the sidewalk. Look at the sidewalk. Sidewalk is empty. I said before, during these parades, if you look at the people on the sidewalks, that'll tell you a lot. Now, I didn't know that they actually have a parade, Memorial Day parade in D.C. And that they actually have bleachers set up in some areas. They have chairs set up. They have ropes tied off. The people are jam-packed in the sidewalk. They have to open up an alleyway, an aisle kind of, for people to walk by because it's just jam-packed on the sidewalk. How's a prayer parade? I used to march in it as often as I could. But it felt odd because you're only waving to the residents. People be looking out their window in the living room. Some hanging out the window, on the windowsill. Some sitting on the stoops in the front of their house. And you got people on their way to the market, going to the store, coming back, and they'll stop, pushing a stroller. The baby in it got a dog, and they're looking at the parade. But hardly anybody else. Now, I'm not making fun. I'm telling you the fact of the matter is, now, you don't want to take my word for it. Here's some of the comments coming off of what was shared on the page. Here. It says, definitely got to be in shape. His first. I knew then it was for me. I ain't marching no more. I ain't been back since. You got to be in shape to march in the parade. Now, it sounds like, being transparent fully, you know, they may not have been running because I was in the area or they thought that Lewis was here. It could be there was a lot of extra security everywhere around the House of Prayer the entire weekend, but I don't think that they were running in the parade because of me. And somebody said, yeah, man, it was worse this year, bro. It was the worst. LOL, 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 LOL. Somebody else said, see? They said, your nephew said, Ma, the parade was literally 30 minutes. Look, it said the parade was 30 minutes. Now, I got a report, somebody else said it was 40, 45. But I've never seen the House of Prayer parade Memorial Day weekend. 30 minutes long and it's over. You know what that says? That says a lot of people didn't participate. That says even a lot of bands didn't participate. And I don't know how many buses there were, but I was told that there was 5. And there may have been more, and the person who told me that just didn't see them. But it's odd that the crowd size is thin. People are dispersed. And even in the lines where they were cooking food. Anyway, somebody said there's good thing that EMS was on standby, and they said they needed them on every corner. That the people dropping like flies. Even Mr. Cunningham had to get in the car and drive. He got tired of walking or got overheated. Um, Incidentally, the point is, I just wanted to let you all know to pull up that video, watch your mouth, um, watch it. The video entirety is 43 minutes, but it's right around 37, 38 minutes while he's up talking, so that you can determine for yourself, was he talking about me? Was he talking to me? Was it a message for me? I think it was. Therefore, I'm going to respond. I'm going to come back after I get changed up, freshened up. But thing is, I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Um, Telling me to watch my mouth. Anyway, I also wanted to share with you all. I'll come back, but Memorial Day weekend, somebody else sent me a video, and they didn't understand. And they didn't understand because they were in a hotel across from the Marriott. And while they were in the lobby, they saw Mr. Cunningham and entourage coming out of the Marriott. No, they didn't say entourage. They saw him coming out of the Marriott, getting in the car. And they wondered about that. Anyway, the next time they saw him, they ran outside to video. Because who's going to believe that the bishop is staying in the Marriott Memorial Day weekend? What in the world's going on? Why isn't he at Portal Drive? Why isn't he at the house in Maryland? Why is he at the Marriott? So they sent this, and the clip is kind of, you can tell that the person was, bless their heart, you can tell that they were nervous and they were scared because they kind of hold their phone up and they're just walking, or just acting like, inconspicuous because they don't want it to be known that they're recording him. So the video doesn't really show a whole heck of a lot, but you can see the car and you can see one of the guards at the door getting ready to open up the SUV. So you'll see the Maybach in the front, and then you'll see the SUV behind the Maybach and the guard. You'll notice the white military hat and the white jacket, unless the Marriott now has United States naval uniforms for their doormen, which we know that they don't. But you'll see just a flash, because again, the person, they don't want to be visible recording him. So here it is here. Okay, that's the car. And there's your guard. Okay, you don't see the guard. I'm going to pause. Okay, here's the car. All right, the rims, the front end, the grill. Okay, it's the Maybach. Side, and you see above the car, the M for the Marriott. Okay, and 1 second, let me see if I can catch the guard. Okay. And the guard is between the cars, okay, right up here. You see the white hat, you see the jacket, and while the video's playing, you'll see them walking to the SUV. And I had to go over this 2 or 3 times. But you'll see, the matter of fact, let me blow it up. Okay. And you'll see him walking to, it's kind of blurred because I freeze framed it. But you see him walking to the SUV. And it's just for a fraction of a second. I'm gonna blow it up so you can see again. Well, let me try, go back. This person, I'm sure they got to be scared to death. Yeah, that's really bad. Let me go back. Anyway, y'all get the point. That's a better one. So you see them on their way to the car. You see the hat, military. It looks like Royal Guards, but some of the escorts have uniforms like that too. The fact of the matter is, there's people who saw him at the Marriott. The question is, why was he staying at the Marriott? It's Memorial Day weekend, Washington, D.C. He should be at headquarters. And a lot of people have questions because all this traveling that he's doing. He just went to Miami. On his way back, he just stopped at all these houses down south. And then he went to D.C. real quick, boom, got out. Went the Midwest tour. Then from the Midwest, he stayed all around New York. House. Now, some said they believe he's trying as best he can to stay out of D.C. For whatever reason, he don't want to be in D.C. Don't want to be at D.C. And then somebody said, well, this is guaranteed proof. Why? Because why isn't he at Portal Drive? And now there's people around D.C. saying that Portal Drive has been shut down by the staff. And things in Portal Drive has been transferred to 601 M Street. And I've said that I don't know how true it is. I don't know because it has not been confirmed. But there was an individual who said that there was a moving truck, a box truck, in front of Paradise Cafeteria, where the pool is, and a few guys, 2 or 3 guys were standing out there just talking in front of this truck. They thought it was perhaps kitchen equipment, but we know that they loaded kitchen equipment from around the side, the rear of the cafeteria. Anyway, all speculative. So if there's anybody out there that knows for a fact you saw him or you saw the staff at the Marriott over the weekend in Washington, D.C., please share comments so that we will know that there's more than one individual who saw him, because we know that there's people who's going to say, well, how do you know that that was his car? How do you know? The point of the matter is there's people who are saying, and no one is going to come running out and go through these modes to video a Maybach and act that suspicious. And then how many Maybachs are there that would have been around DC Memorial Day weekend? And then how many Maybachs are there where it would have had a black SUV behind it? And then how many Maybachs Memorial Day weekend in Washington, D.C. would have had a black SUV behind it with a guy wearing a white hat and a white coat that looks exactly like our uniformed security, especially the Royal Guards, there in Washington. The point, the point is, I believe that it was him. I believe exactly what this person said. They wouldn't have any reason to make this up. We don't have to make anything up. There's way too much evidence to support the things that I'm saying anyway. To make something up wouldn't be necessary when you have tons and tons and tons of evidence to support your claims. Besides that, people are talking all about Memorial Day weekend. And you'll find on our channel individuals that were there who saw what happened at the General Assembly, who marched in the parade. They said they felt bad. There's one commenter who said they felt bad, they felt awkward, and they went back to the hotel, start watching more videos, and could not stop. They said they could not stop watching the videos. They were that compelling. And they kept watching it more and more. Then from Saturday night into Sunday morning and all day, just nothing but video. They did not go to a service that Saturday night after the parade. They did not go to service that Sunday. My point is that we've seen a grip, an influx of House of Prayer members now watching the videos because they want to know for themselves what in the world is going on and why is the leadership acting the way that they're acting. Why is it that they put out word that when I get to DC, they're going to get me? Okay. Why is it that he did not write an epistle this year telling the members to watch their behavior when they come there to Washington, D.C.? Why is it that he said nothing whatsoever about conduct? Every single year, we know that the leaders of the House of Prayer put out a letter letting the people know when you come Memorial Day weekend, watch your conduct, watch your behavior. Don't come bringing no foolishness, blah, blah, blah. This year, nothing. Instead, there was a waiver, a liability waiver given to the security groups telling them it's optional if they want to have a gun on them or not. However, if anything jumps off, anything happens, no matter what it is, no matter where it is, no matter who it is, you will not hold the House of Prayer or its leadership or anybody connected to the House of Prayer accountable. You will take all the responsibility upon yourself to the fullest extent of the law, no matter whether it's insurance purposes, death purposes, hospital purposes, whatever the case may be, you give us full waiver. People took that into account. And to see that conduct and to see the letter, I put it on the video, and then just read the waiver and to know that the judge, his name is included on this. Anyway, people are talking. That's all people are talking about. And now he's going around various cities all around the country, actually. And around the country, he is let me show you. And okay, here, May 29th, that was Raleigh, North Carolina. And this is the itinerary. Okay. So all these cities and the dates. Now, mind you, I'm looking at some of these houses. Some of these houses have less than 6 members. Some of these houses literally have less than 6 members, 6 active members coming on a weekly basis. Some of them are down to 4. I am not making this up. I don't want to call out the house name because I don't want to embarrass the congregation. But this is absolutely, positively, 100% true. And for those of you who know that some of the houses on this list, this itinerary, for those of you who know that some of these congregations have less than 6 members, some got many of them have less than 10, but some has less than 6 members. And I know of 2 of them that has literally 3 or 4. That would, of course, be less than 6. But my point is exactly 3 or 4 members in a house of prayer. Why in the world is he traveling to those cities? Why would he stop in? Now, people might say, well, of course, he just want to see about the members. Okay, but you're going to have an entire service in that city at this other location that night or the next night Why are you coming here to this house with 3 or 4 members? For them to try to throw something together real quick with their limited funds, you know they don't have much because it's only 3 or 4 members. But they would have to put on this hoopla, this grand show for Mr. Cunningham's arrival. I think that he's going around just to see what support he has left in the organization. I think he's popping up as many places as he can to see who's still with him, which really doesn't matter because whenever he pulls stunts like he did in Washington, you're still losing people. And some people are popping up just to see what's going on, what's going to happen, as well as so that they can report to us, so that we can put online what's going on, what you're doing, what you're saying, because they're tired of all of this nonsense as well. There's many people throughout the organization who absolutely love the House of Prayer and who really believe in the House of Prayer and who believe that the House of Prayer is 100% right and righteous. And many of those members, like I did, that believe in the House of Prayer are infuriated when they find out that all this stuff is going on and is being covered up year after year after year after year. And all these men that's involved and some of these women at the top of the organization who's also involved, also covering up and having their way and doing all kinds of things. People are fed up and they're angry that they're finding out that this type of behavior is going on. People who were naive would not have even guessed that this stuff is taking place, and it's literally not only being supported, but actively being covered up so it can continue. Generation after generation after generation. And there's many of the members now, I'm aware, that know about this activity and themselves are involved in it. Not every, but many of the members still supporting him are actively involved in this behavior that's going on. I was told there was a funeral service last weekend, and pastor of that particular house of prayer, Apostle White, he said when he got up to speak, he said, "We are grateful and we give thanks to God that we are not in court right now." Something along the lines of, we praise him because we could be in court right now. We thank him that we're not in court. And the individuals that have shared this with me, they said that this went on for a few minutes. Why are we talking about court? That we could be in court. I share with them because that's what's on their mind, and they're having a lot of secret meetings to update them as to what's coming out into the open. And therefore, people are nervous, they're frantic because they don't know what to do while expecting the authorities. Something's got to give. Mr. Cunningham is now calling ahead to the different pastors that he's coming to visit to tell them certain people that he does not want to be there when he gets there. This is a fact. He's calling pastors and having pastors to talk to people to make sure that those people are not going to be there when he comes to town at the bishop's order or his request. That is the word coming from pastors to certain members. I received a phone call and he does not want them around. How is it that a leader of an organization who says that they're a servant of God going to call a pastor and tell them not to have people there when he comes? What in the world is this? What is this? And we still have people supporting this? No matter if it's a handful of people, nobody should be reporting this kind of conduct and behavior. It's a dictatorship. And it certainly is not a democracy. And if the members don't understand that there's a control over the organization, if you don't know that by now, with the way that he's making demands, telling you, and other pastors and chairmanship positions such as Jones, telling you, Mr. Jones, telling you, and the Memorial Day weekend services, if you not for him, you're not going to support him, there's the door. Who are they to tell a member to get out? All of the years they've been a member, all the money that they've given, everything in the House of Prayer that they got came out of the pockets and off the backs of these members in the House of Prayer. Who are you to tell anybody, bishop, chairman, I don't care what you are, who are you to tell anybody in any nonprofit organization to get out? That's the red flag. You might as well be screaming with a dog whistle, telling everybody, all the authorities, come on in here and check out what we're doing. And this is what Mr. Harris was trying to say in his comments about the risks of outside coming to fix this. This is a problem. I need to fix something that I said. I said that they just bought 2 properties in DC. That was incorrect. My information was incorrect. And it's not that I was given wrong information. It's because I looked at the information wrong. That's my fault, not anybody else's. Therefore, I don't want anybody to assume or think that people are giving me wrong information. They're not. I looked at information that people gave to me, and I was looking at 2 different pieces of information, 2 different pictures of information, 2 different descriptions of information, and I was looking at addresses without taking the time to think, without taking the time to do any check. Well, I went back and checked, and I need to report to you that it wasn't 2 properties, it was 1. I said that 1 property was purchased with 360 units in it for $26 million. It was the idea was a company was going to build 360 units in it. And the House of Prayer purchased, the amount that was given was $26 million for the site, not for a property that had already been built. It was for the site, the location. The number was $26 million that was reported. That site has an address. I'm looking at 601 M Street going this way, and Washington Apartments on this same street. The address printed on that paperwork was the Crossroad. And because I was looking at the addresses, not paying attention that the address of the Crossroad did not match up with the address at 601, my understanding, taking a quick glance, is, wait a minute, this is 2 properties. When I look back at it, it was only 1. It is the Washington Apartments. And there's members saying that that property was purchased for $45 million and not 26, which is indeed likely because the House of Prayer is known for not giving out accurate information. And when you're involved in a bunch of embezzlement or fraud or anything, of course you're not going to give out accurate numbers. Somebody actually reported somewhere, I saw in writing online, in fact, it was a newspaper article or a magazine, that the House of Prayer's worth is $35 million. And you have to laugh at that report that was given. $35 million. Now, that does sound like a lot of money, but for our organization, anyway, there are also some pastors, this is the last bit of information I want to give before I come back to respond for Watch Your Mouth. There's also now reports that I'm getting from individuals saying that, and somebody else called to tell me this today as well, and somebody a couple of days ago, and before that it was another individual. There's pastors now literally not preaching. Not preaching. And this has been going on now for over a month. People are telling me that the pastors are not preaching. Not all of them, but there's some of the bigger named pastors in higher positions that are not preaching. They're not saying anything on Sunday morning. General gospel service, friends in the house, visitors in the house, people still trying, to bring people in for those who are really, really, really supporting them. And they want to impress them with the music, like always, because they certainly cannot impress them with the word, because they're not given the word. They're talking about Mr. Cunningham, how he's God or Jesus or late model version. So now that these videos has been exposing all this stuff, they're at a loss of words. They have absolutely no idea what to say. What do you say when you're being exposed in this manner? People see security everywhere, and now y'all are involved in trying to cover up as much as you can. You're not talking to the members. You're not telling them what's going on. And then you got to come right back to these members and beg them to try to give thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to Mr. Cunningham, who's going to be coming to those cities in 2 or 3 weeks. How do you raise $25, $30, $40, $100, $200,000 to give to that man when he comes, when everybody sees that everything you stand for is a lie? Now what are you going to do? Somebody even put in the comments, bad boys, what you got? They put it in the comments. Some of these people are comical, and you're at a point where you have to laugh because it's such a sad state of affairs. This is a serious, very serious issue. And when you see the leaders ducking and dodging for so long and trying to skirt around subjects and not, you have to at some point laugh just to get through it. Especially after what happened General Assembly, when we had this, it would have been over. It would have been done. So people are now trying to find a way to laugh while continuing to go forward. Especially the family members of individuals that were like the one that made a comment earlier, second generation grapefruit victim. We have to watch our words on here. But grapefruit victim. And there's many other grapefruit victims and all types of other offended victims of various ages. So people looking for ways to laugh. When I hear things, when I see things, I laugh. I laugh. I don't want to. I laugh. God knows what he's doing. God knows what he's done. God knows what he's already planned. And God knows what's coming next. And they're so afraid right now because they don't have a clue. And you all will be absolutely surprised when things come out into the open and how things unfold going forward. Anyway, I will be back later on this evening to comment. Make sure you get a chance, if you haven't watched it yet, to watch that video. Watch your mouth, because the next video after that will be my response to it. I was going to play it, but instead of me playing it, I'm just going to respond to it. So I'm going to take some notes and I'm going to read and comment on that. So watch it when you get a chance. Look at the comments and be ready for the next video. Until then, enjoy your afternoon and I will be seeing you in the next video.